There's just a little fine line between craziness and insanity. I think we're a little more on the crazy side.
Dakota Fred, known for his toughness and machine skills, became famous on Gold Rush. He made the show interesting and got his own series with his son, searching for gold in Alaska's wild lands. But there's a twist. Something has happened to Fred, something that resulted in him passing away. But what the TV show is explaining about his passing turns out to be a big lie. Join us as we reveal all shocking details about what actually happened. Digging deep, Fred's story from water to gold. Fred Hurt, known as Dakota Fred, made a memorable entrance into the shiny but tough world of reality TV on October 28, 2011. His appearance on the show Gold Rush quickly won over viewers with his straightforward and rugged appeal. Joining the show in its second season was no accident. The producers wanted to add some excitement with Fred's down-to-earth approach to mining and his skill with machinery.
Got into my 70s and I'm in there diving and I thought, what the hell are you doing? It just didn't dawn on me that I was getting older.
This move was a hit, making Fred a unique star in the realm of reality TV and securing his spot in various mining shows. His time on TV has spanned over 8 different series, eventually leading to a show made just for him, Gold Rush, Whitewater. Gold Rush, Whitewater takes viewers into the wilds of Alaska, focusing on the adventurous mining activities of Fred and his son, Dustin. Despite Fred being in his 70s when he joined the series, audiences were captivated by the sight of him taking on nature, machines, and challenging odds. The series mixes the struggle against the wild with the quest for gold, appealing to those intrigued by the search for hidden treasures. Fred's willingness to face the dangers of Alaska's landscapes made for compelling viewing, even as some wondered how long he could keep up such intense physical efforts.
It did make me a better person because I tried harder. And I knew I had to try harder.
Fred's story began in Minot, North Dakota, a place known for its vast skies and sprawling fields. Here he got the nickname Dakota, reflecting his connection to his home state and his adventurous spirit. Another nickname, Bigfoot, came from the stories of his childhood and his imposing personality. Growing up, Fred always stood out in his hometown, known for his eagerness to explore and make his mark. As a young boy, Fred was drawn to the outdoors and especially loved fishing in North Dakota's clear waters. This wasn't just a hobby for him, it was his passion, and it often got in the way of his schoolwork. He was fascinated by the sea and even thought about becoming a marine biologist to explore underwater mysteries. However, as he grew older, Fred realized that his dreams needed to adjust to reality. His path eventually shifted from the dream of studying marine life to embracing the practical and challenging world of commercial diving in the Gulf of Mexico. This change in direction didn't dampen his adventurous spirit, it just reshaped it, leading him into new adventures and eventually to the rugged terrains of gold mining on television. As Fred got older, his world grew larger than the familiar shores where he spent his childhood fishing. The Gulf of Mexico, mysterious and uncharted, beckoned him with its secrets hidden beneath the waves. Here, the world of commercial diving offered Fred more than just an adventure in the waters he was so drawn to. It gave him a means to earn his living, diving deep into the ocean's embrace. Moving from dreaming about being a biologist, studying sea creatures, to becoming a diver wearing a hard hat marked a significant shift in his life, filled with both challenges and victories. The deep sea was both enticing and perilous, putting Fred's courage and strength to the test. Diving in the Gulf was entirely different from the calm lakes of his early days. Surrounded by oil rigs and engaged in underwater construction and salvage work, Fred found himself in a dangerous world where the sea could be as threatening as it was supportive. He quickly adapted, his ease in the water turning him into a key player in this risky business. But it wasn't just his physical skills that made him stand out. Fred's deep understanding of the sea, its temper and rhythms, truly set him apart. This period in Fred's life was packed with hard work. The job was tough, filled with hazards and demanded long hours. Yet it was in these challenging conditions, amidst the sea spray and salt, that Fred developed the resilience, determination, and relentless drive that would later characterize his business ventures on dry land. Moving from the Gulf's depths to the firm ground, Fred took the lessons from the sea to start his own construction business, as naturally as a river flows to the sea. He brought his hard-won tenacity and commitment to this new chapter, not just building buildings but also a name for himself, based on dependability and skill. Fred's path from being a diver, focused on underwater demolition, construction and salvage, to owning his construction business, paints a picture of a man who wasn't deterred by hard work or the unpredictable nature of working for oneself. Yet, his shift from a would-be marine biologist to a reality TV star hints at a deeper restlessness, a continuous search for success, whether buried in the earth or in the journey of life. His move to reality TV, though lucrative, paints a wider image of a society fascinated by individual toughness and the constant chase for riches, sometimes ignoring the risks to personal safety and the environment. Now let's look closer at Dakota Fred's personal life, including his loves, his losses, and how he kept chasing gold in Alaska's wild, finding gold and facing life's challenges. Dakota Fred Hurt's life story, as told with a kind of eager interest by the Discovery Channel, has been a roller coaster of emotions, filled with ups and downs, personal stories made public, and significant life events. The tale weaves through moments of sadness, victory, and the everyday life of Fred, turning into a public show for all to see. The details about Fred's love life are revealed bit by bit, creating a story that feels more like it's from a TV drama than real life. His first wife, whom we know little about, is just the beginning of a more complex story about his relationships. Lorraine Frances Lear, the woman who became his second wife, plays a major role in this story, remembered for her connection with their children and her struggle with an illness that eventually led to her passing in 2015. Then, adding a new chapter to the story, Jennifer Sheets stepped into Fred's life in 2016, becoming not only his third wife, but also a familiar face on reality TV. Her efforts in cooking for the hungry miners in Haines, Alaska, brought a sense of home life to the tough world of mining. Together, they created a life that seemed perfectly in tune with the wild, challenging environment of Alaska. Dustin Hurt, Fred and Lorraine's son, continues to carry the family name in the world of gold mining, closely following in his father's footsteps. Appearing in most of the shows that featured his dad, Dustin represents the continuation of the Dakota boy's story, taking on the legacy his father left behind. The show Gold Rush, White Water, a series that came after the main Gold Rush series, introduces viewers to a new kind of adventure, and maybe even a bit of madness.
I look back on my life as definitely a well-lived life.
In this series, the focus shifts to mining gold in the dangerous conditions of whitewater rapids, pushing the limits of what's considered safe. Since its start in 2018, the show has taken the Dakota boys and their crew through incredibly risky challenges to find gold in the depths of Alaska's wild waterfalls. This adventure is full of difficulties, from battling the extreme cold and unpredictable weather of Alaska to navigating the hazardous rapids that could easily be the end of even the most experienced miner. With each new season, the stakes get higher with new challenges, new locations, and remarkable discoveries, like finding the biggest gold nugget the show has ever seen, briefly turning a story of survival and risk into a tale of extraordinary achievement. After Fred Hurt's departure, the Dakota boys are like sailors lost at sea without their trusted captain. The quest for gold, once a shared dream between Fred and his son Dustin, now becomes a journey filled with uncertainty and reflection on what the future holds. The camps, now shrouded in the thick mists of Alaska, feel the weight of Fred's absence. Dustin, left to mine without the wisdom and strength of his father, is not just up against the physical challenges of the mining world, but also dealing with the emotional struggle of carrying on his father's legacy. The question of what will happen now looms large, casting a shadow of doubt and anticipation over what lies ahead for the Dakota boys and their quest for gold in the wild rivers of Alaska. Under Dustin's new but unsure leadership, the Dakota boys stand at a crucial turning point. The rivers they've faced off against, the ground they've worked hard on, and the harsh conditions they've endured all seem to reflect the struggles they're facing within themselves. Dustin, who used to learn from his father, now has to lead while still learning. He's trying to follow in his father's footsteps, yet he's also carving out his own path. The show needs to change and grow, just like the weather in Alaska that can switch up without warning. The people watching the show are hooked, not just because they're excited to see what's discovered next, but because they're moved by the real struggles the miners go through. The story begins to dig deeper into the personal lives of the miners, showing how they support each other and what happens when they run into tough times. It's all about chasing a dream that Fred and his son once dreamt together. As the Dakota boys move forward, the places where they mine, which used to be filled with Fred's laughter, now quietly honor his memory. The hunt for gold goes on, but there's a deeper search happening. A search for what it means to keep going after losing someone, for the courage to continue, and for the hope that there's not just gold hidden away, but also a sense of peace and completeness. Dustin starts to become more confident in his role as a leader. He begins to develop his own way of leading, influenced by his dad, but also very much his own. He starts to understand that being a good leader isn't just about finding gold. It's about gaining respect, overcoming obstacles, and inspiring the people around him. The group of miners, each with their own reasons for chasing after gold, comes together to support Dustin. They share the sadness of losing Fred, but are also determined to keep his dream alive. Stories about Fred's adventures, his smart advice, and his never-give-up attitude become legendary in the camp, helping everyone keep going even when things get really tough. As the team grows and continues their search for gold, they start to think more about how their mining affects the environment. They look into mining in ways that are better for the land that's given them so much. They realize that remembering Fred also means taking care of the nature he loved so much. The future for the Dakota boys is still not clear, but it's definitely not without hope. Every time they find a bit of gold, every obstacle they get past, they're keeping Fred's memory alive. The rivers of Alaska keep flowing, just like the Dakota boys' story, never stopping, reminding us that life, with all its ups and downs and beautiful moments, goes on. Dive into a thrilling gold rush episode where Fred and Dustin Hurt face big risks looking for gold deep underground. Hidden Treasures, the Dakota boys' risky adventure. The episode, named One Last Glory Hole Test from the TV show Gold Rush, feels more like the dramatic end of a TV drama than just another day of mining for gold. Released on December 2nd, 2013, this episode has caught the attention of nearly 100,000 viewers with its intense story of a risky venture underground, starring the brave team of Fred and Dustin Hurt. In mining, a glory hole is a deep vertical tunnel drilled to find minerals hidden under the ground, a venture that could lead to great wealth or complete loss. In this thrilling part of the show, Fred, who's always been stubborn about finding gold, decides to take a huge risk. They have dug down 100 feet, dangerously close to causing a massive cave-in next to an unstable part of the tunnel. The air is thick with tension as Dustin operates the big machines, keeping an eye on the shaky wall above them. They go further than recommended, digging an extra 24 feet into uncertainty, increasing the chance of the tunnel collapsing with every loose rock that falls. But just when it seems like their efforts might end in a dire lesson about pushing luck too far, something changes. Fred notices a different kind of dirt, a sandy layer that might mean they're close to hitting rock bottom and possibly gold. This moment leaves everyone hanging, eager to see if the Dakota boys' risky move will lead to a big find, or if it's just a wild chase in the tough Alaska wilderness. March 2023 becomes a critical time for Fred Hurt, known for his tough spirit and dedication to gold mining.
Celebrate by going diving in a raging creek, looking for gold.
Now he's facing a challenge unlike any other, a diagnosis of a malignant brain tumor. This new enemy is invisible and daunting, threatening not just his gold hunting, but his very life. This development deeply changes the story of a man known for his adventures in Alaska's gold-laden lands. Following the diagnosis, Fred's daily life changes significantly. Instead of the loud sounds of machines and the cold splash of river waters, he now spends time in quiet thought, talking with doctors, and facing the difficult quiet that comes with waiting for treatment. Fighting a brain tumor means dealing with its physical impact, the emotional weight of facing the end, and navigating through the options for treatment and doctors' visits. Fred's family stands firmly beside him as they face this new challenge together. They are the steady force that reminds him there's more to life than the pursuit of gold. His son Dustin in particular steps up in a way he never has before, supporting his dad not just as a mining partner, but as a son, seeing his father in a new, more vulnerable light. This situation brings out a new side of their relationship, highlighting how close they are and the deep respect they have for each other, built through facing tough times together. The whole mining community comes together to support Fred, showing how much they admire and care for him. They organize fundraisers, send encouraging messages, and old friends from his mining days come to visit. Every act of kindness, no matter how small, means a lot. It's like they're all joining forces to help a friend who's going through a tough time, remembering all the challenges they've faced together in the past. During this hard time, Fred turns to the great outdoors for comfort. The same wild places where he achieved so much now help him find peace. Taking walks in the forest or fishing in a calm lake gives him a break from everything, a chance to be in touch with the natural world that has always amazed and grounded him. The battle with the brain tumor is full of ups and downs, just like searching for gold. Some days there's hope when the treatments seem to be working, but then there are setbacks, reminding everyone how tough this disease is. Fred deals with each day with the same determination he's always shown, which doesn't surprise anyone who knows him well. As Fred fights this personal battle, his story becomes an inspiration to others who are facing tough times too. His bravery in facing what's to come, his positive attitude even when things look bad, and the strong support from his family and friends all serve as powerful examples of what it means to be resilient. At first, Fred's illness showed itself through constant headaches that wouldn't go away, and soon he started having trouble seeing clearly. As the tumor grew, it caused even more serious problems, like making it hard for him to keep his balance, feeling dizzy, and having trouble speaking clearly. Fred's health got worse, leading to seizures, showing just how much this illness was affecting his life. This part of Gold Rush, which tells the story of Fred's health issues, really shows what life is all about. It's a mix of hopeful moments, challenges, and coming to terms with our own limits. Chasing after gold is a lot like chasing after success or trying to make a mark in the world. Fred's story, from the excitement of possibly finding gold to facing a serious health issue, highlights how unpredictable life can be. Learn about Fred Hurt's toughest fight, not against nature, but a serious illness. From gold to life, Fred's final fight. The sad story of Dakota, Fred Hurt's fight against stage 4 brain cancer, is as dramatic and unexpected as any twist you'd find in the reality TV shows he was famous for. On March 8, 2023, Fred himself shared the news about his serious health situation by posting a link to a report from PR Newswire. Despite facing such a tough challenge, he seemed to still have hope for another adventure, showing his usual courage in the face of adversity. However, brain cancer, especially when discovered so late, tends to take control of the story, quickly worsening and attacking the body and mind with devastating effects that often leave doctors struggling to keep up. Despite trying every medical treatment available, Fred's cancer remained unbeatable. The first surgery to remove the cancer didn't stop it from coming back quickly, showing just how aggressive the tumor was. Even radiation therapy, which uses high energy to try to kill cancer cells, couldn't stop the disease from spreading. This left everyone feeling very sad for Fred, a man once known for his incredible strength and resilience in gold mining. His death on July 12, 2023, brought deep sorrow to his family, friends, and many fans, who expressed their sadness and paid tribute to him on his Facebook page. In his memory, they supported the Micro Works Foundation, reflecting Fred's belief in the importance of learning trades and hard work. People couldn't help but wonder if anything more could have been done to help him. The focus on surgery and radiation as the main treatments sparked discussions about other possible options that weren't explored. Questions were raised about whether chemotherapy, which is often used alongside other treatments to fight cancer, might have made a difference in Fred's case. There are new treatments being developed for brain cancer that might offer some hope for the future. For example, there are special wafers filled with chemotherapy drugs that can be placed directly in the brain after surgery, or targeted therapies that attack the cancer without harming the rest of the body as much. However, these new methods also come with their own risks and need to be chosen carefully depending on the person's specific situation. One of the newest treatments is called tumor treating fields, TT fields, which uses electrical fields to try to stop cancer cells from growing. This treatment is easy to use every day and represents the kind of innovative thinking we need in the fight against cancer. However, even this wasn't enough to change Fred's situation. Clinical trials, where new treatments are tested, offer hope for people with hard-to-treat or recurring cancers. These trials are at the forefront of finding new ways to fight cancer, but they also come with a lot of uncertainty, much like the unpredictable challenges Fred faced while searching for gold in Alaska. Looking back on Dakota Fred Hurt's battle with brain cancer, it's clear that fighting such a tough disease is not just about the treatments available, but also about when the disease is found and how hard it is to treat. Fred's story, known to so many through reality TV and remembered by those who loved him, shows a man who lived life to the fullest, facing every challenge with bravery, even when the path was difficult. What do you think about chasing dreams while staying healthy? Like, subscribe, and tell us below. Fred's story is a big lesson. What did you learn from it?